Hey guys, MCU Collector here with another figure review. Next up is the Marvel Select Black and Gold Spider-Man from Spider-Man No Way Home. This is a Disney Store exclusive, so shopdisney.com. It might be available at the Disney parks. I don't know that for sure. I don't know if a lot of you guys are in the same boat as me, whereas any of the Disney stores in the area have all since closed. So the only way to get it was to really get it online. It popped up, it was in stock, I ordered it, and they shipped out right away. So I'm really happy to have it. Although this does seem like a very lazy repaint of the Spider-Man Far From Home figure, which it is, again, the same, but just a repaint. The suit was the inside-out version of this, so it makes sense in some ways. But then at the same time, we don't get any of the circuitry or the wiring or anything. And I don't know that any figures that we get are going to have any of the wiring. Maybe the Figure Arts, if Mafex ever does it, maybe. It is technically a little more screen accurate than the Legends version, because the Legends version has the red on the hands and the forearms. But at least we got the circuitry on the Legends version. We do not get any of that here on the Marvel Select. We have the same packaging you see with most Marvel Select figures, is gigantic packaging that wastes all kinds of space. I don't know why they do this. It kind of sucks. It's not really collector friendly. We get the integrated suit artwork throughout, even on the side, so it's kind of funky. But anyway, I'm still excited about this one because this was a very, very good figure. And since it's the same as this, it's not going to be bad. It's just the overall look and aesthetic of it is just a little off, but still a pretty cool figure. Let's get it out of the package. Okay, so here is the black and gold suit out of the package. So here, let's talk about the accessories first. We have a few different sets of interchangeable hands. We have 3 additional sets out of the package. He has fists. Then we have these open holding hands, the gripping hands that you could use to hold on to the webs. You can see the gold on the gloves there. It looks pretty good. We also have these wall crawling or open expressive hands, as you can see here. Those look good. And then we have thwipping hands here, and these look good as well. It's all the same hands that we got with the upgraded suit. And then we get these cool web accessories. The only thing about these web accessories that I don't really care for is that they are gray. Not a bad choice, I guess. Used to white webs or like a translucent type of plastic. The gray is just a little bit odd to me. It makes it so it's at least a little noticeable, but it's kind of weird. The ends of these webs are kind of weird. You can use them to try and clip onto things, but I think they did it so you could clip the 2 web pieces together, or if you've had multiple, you can clip them together, as you can see how they work. This particular piece here has the clip end on both sides, so you can see you do here, whereas this one is shaped a little bit differently. We get the clip on this end here, but this end is nothing. So this would be the end that he would use to hold the web. So to swap out the hands, which that was hard to pull out of there. So if we swap the hands, he can hold on to this web with those gripping hands. No problem there. So that is cool. And then you can like swing him however you want, but you can have this extra long web piece, especially if you connect the 2. I don't know why you would want such a long piece, but you know, that's an option. Now, I don't have a lot of Marvel Select figures. I have the Spider-Man movie release ones for the MCU. So I have the upgraded suit. I have the Homecoming suit. I have the Iron Spider suit from Avengers Infinity War. This is a great one, by the way. And then I have the Disney Store exclusive Homecoming one, which has the unmasked Tom Holland head sculpt that doesn't look anything like Tom Holland, in my opinion. So I don't have a lot of Marvel Select figures. I have a couple. I have like the Iron Man Mark 85. I have the Game Reverse Spider-Man. I have the Endgame Hulk. So a few Marvel Select figures, but I don't have any of the comic Spider-Man. So I wonder, are these webs reused from a comic Spider-Man? You guys let me know down in the comments below if you know, or if they are new to this pack specifically. I feel like they're probably reused, but I do not know that. But those are the only accessories that we get. At least the Far From Home figure. We had the UK United Kingdom flag, the Union Jack. I'm not sure why we actually got that flag in the first place, since the flag didn't really have any bearing in the movie other than the final battle taking place in London. But it's kind of interesting. But anyway, let's get in for a closer look at the black and gold Spider-Man. I don't know if this is how that web could be made for, but you could do something like that with the wrist peg. The hand doesn't really fit in there too nicely, and it kind of does some things, but depending on angles and stuff that you're using, you can kind of make that work. And then I keep forgetting and overlook the fact that we don't get the Doctor Strange gauntlet piece where he was able to trap the villains. It would have been nice to get the sculpted gauntlet piece on his left arm, whereas I think Figure Arts did it for his right. It was actually on his left in the movie. That would have been a huge deal as well. And this is a late addition to the video if it seems and feels a little out of place, by the way. So you could do something like that. Okay, so here's an up-close look at the black and gold Spider-Man, and the gold paint on there is done nicely. So I will give Diamond Select Toys that, because the web lines are really nice, the gold paint on there. We get a lot of nice texture in the sculpt to match the upgraded suit, because again, this is the same exact figure. It's just, you know, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen the movie by now, why haven't you seen the movie by now? But the suit is just inside out version of the upgraded suit, as a lot of speculation was that would be the case. But in the movie, there was a lot of circuitry that you would see. There's exposed wiring and things like that. No figure has gotten that right. SH Figure Arts has a lot of sculpted detail on there. Marvel Legends went as far as to do like a circuitry print throughout the figure, which, damn, you can't really see. Let me brighten up a little bit. That you could see throughout as I try and focus in. You could see some of it, but the Marvel Select didn't do anything at all. Nothing. Just black and gold paint throughout, same exact sculpt, nothing like that. Now, this figure could be based off of promo images and promo artwork that Marvel would have provided to Diamond Select, and then in turn, I think Gentle Giant Studios, who sculpted the Far From Home suit, to say that, oh, you know, it's essentially the same thing, so you could just re-release it, no big deal. I don't even hate it. I don't think it's necessarily a problem, but a circuitry print would have been a little nice. I'm trying to look. I think the head sits a little bit higher on the neck, but they are the same exact figure. There is no difference. But, you know, it kind of sucks that we didn't get the circuitry print or anything like that, but it's still a good looking figure overall. If the suit was still just a black and gold suit, it would be good, but it's not. So it's not really screen accurate, so that kind of sucks from that aspect, but it's still a good figure. You know, Marvel Select figures, you know, think about, look at that hip joint, like, what the hell is this, right? That's terrible. So at least we don't get that with these figures now. The Iron Spider figure, the upgraded suit, now the black and gold suit, having the updated articulation points at the hip, definitely a nice touch, but still a good looking figure, just unfortunately a screen inaccurate figure. But let's see how he moves. Okay, so articulation. He can look down that much. He can look up only that much, so not a lot. So that's a little lacking. You get a full swivel in there. You do get some crazy pivot. You can get the shoulder to go out straight, as you can see there. Full rotation in there, of course. Upper bicep swivel. You get a double jointed elbow, like so, which works really, really nicely. Wrists swivel, and they do hinge. You have a diaphragm cut up at the top, so you can pivot to his left that much, which is fantastic range. You can pivot to his right that much, really good range again. Going back, you get a little bit. Coming forward, you get a little bit, and I know, like, Wade Unparalleled Universe has made some modifications to Marvel Select figures. I think he did for the upgraded suit. I know he did for the Gamerverse, so you can kind of check out and see some of the things that he does. We get another ball joint at the waist, so when using both, you can get him to tilt and pivot to his left that much in total. Getting to his right that much in total. You do get a little, there's not a whole lot of twist at that waist, unfortunately. The diaphragm joint, you get a little bit, so there's definitely lacking in that aspect of being able to turn. You can kind of work it, kind of force it a little bit, but it's really not a whole lot. Legs go out super far apart, do the full splits. Can't kick forward that far. Goes back tiny bit, upper thigh cut in there. You get a double jointed knee like so. That looks pretty good. No calf swivel or anything like that would really break up the sculpt, but foot hinges down a little bit. Tiny bit of hinge up, ankle pivot, and you do actually have peg holes at the bottom of the feet. So Marvel Select figures are not known for their articulation. They're usually known for their good sculpt work, which would be the case in normal instances as opposed to this one. But, you know, in terms of, hey, by the way, the black and gold suit's just the inside out version of the upgraded suit. It's the same body mold, so I guess you can't really fault them for that. Just a little paint work would have been nice to get. That little tiny bit that Legends gave us, although that one's screen inaccurate as well, I think it would have made a big difference, but it might just be me. Okay, so here are the Marvel Select MCU Spider-Man figures. The black and gold is definitely not going to be my favorite. My favorite, I'm leaning either towards the Iron Spider figure, which is more screen accurate than some figures, although the spider legs are not accurate at all. In the movie, they were strictly just blue, gold, and with a little bit of blue. They went red, gold, and blue on this one. Different design choice. The figure itself is really nice. The upgraded suit is probably going to be my favorite because they did a really good job with it. I'm very happy. And then the Homecoming figures, I'm just not the biggest fans of. But you guys let me know down in the comments below, what is your favorite Marvel Select MCU Spider-Man figure? Let me know in the comments below. Okay, and final comparison here, we have the Marvel Select Black and Gold and the Marvel Legends Black and Gold suit. I'm leaning towards the Marvel Legends, even though the red is super inaccurate. The circuitry print I kind of appreciate a little bit more. The gold web lines are a little too clean on the Marvel Select, which I know sounds like, why would that be a criticism? Because it's an inside out suit, so it shouldn't look so perfect like a suit, whereas this one, I feel like it does, and I don't even know that that was necessarily intentional or it just came out looking like that on the figure, or if it's because of the black circuitry print on this figure. But for whatever reason, I'm definitely leaning towards the Legends, because that circuitry print, you know, when I didn't know about it at first, when I reviewed the figure, I'm like, oh wow, this has that. That's really nice. So that wins it for me. You know, I can overlook the red, not a big deal. But the Marvel Select, although it's still a good figure, they could have done better. It's just a repaint, which is weird because this one's really just a repaint of the upgraded suit from Spider-Man Far From Home. But the paint work is kind of what makes it different. So yes, it's a repaint, but a little bit more effort put into this one, whereas this one had the least amount of effort put into it. A solid release still. You know, MCU screen movie accurate. If you look over that, it's a good looking Spider-Man figure. But you know, maybe that's just me. You guys let me know down in the comments below what you think of this figure. Not bad. Did you pick it up? Are you passing on it, or have you seen it inside of a Disney store? Let me know in the comments below. If you guys like this video, please do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. And as always, thank you for watching.